All inmates at the Lansing Correctional Facility will be tested for COVID-19. Earlier this week, 240 inmates from one unit were tested. 75% of them were positive and asymptomatic. This comes after the facility, with one of the largest coronavirus outbreaks in Kansas, announced its second death related to the virus. 41 Action News reporter Mackenzie Nelson talked to a corrections officer who actually resigned from Lansing over what he describes as serious issues.
Yeah, she shares his story of conditions he claims put staff members in danger.
After 15 years, a sergeant here at the Lansing Correctional Facility is calling it quits, saying the lack of PPE for employees and inmates was the final straw.
When the pandemic started, they ignored it.
David Carter worked as a correctional officer. The Kansas Department of Corrections told 41 Action News Carter was hired in February 2005. On Wednesday, Carter submitted his resignation letter, effective immediately. In the letter, Carter wrote about the recent atmosphere that he says puts staff members in danger.
Trying our best to do what we can with what little we have. Do more with less is kind of the state motto at this point.
Carter said the response to the pandemic was slow and ineffective.
Let's put 200 guys onto the max yard. Let's let them intermingle. They just pretended nothing would happen and hoped it would go away, I suppose.
In his 15 years, Carter says he was always encouraged to wear gloves. At the start of the pandemic, he said protective equipment was distributed, but it quickly ran out.
We were given cloth masks handmade by inmates and sewing machines.
Carter said the recent riot at the facility was due to the lack of PPE for inmates.
C2 has 5 guys in a cell, living on top of each other. In a 4-man cell, they have 5 guys. It's so social distancing's impossible, and the next best thing is to protect yourself, and they can't do that either. So frustrations obviously start to bubble over a little bit.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, 70 staff and 70 inmates have tested positive for coronavirus. Thursday, the Kansas Department of Corrections announced all residents will be tested.
If that were the only problem and it's a temporary issue, you can ride it out, maybe, and hope for the best. But when that's not the only issue, you stop wanting to ride it out.
Department of Corrections officials tell me they have no comment on Carter's resignation. Reporting in Lansing, Mackenzie Nelson, 41 Action News.